Yo, I want to chill right now.
You're disrespecting me in a public forum right now. You realize that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I want that to be the goal of the podcast, for somebody to let go of their worries in the world and listen to us.
This is my new look, Daddy David. Daddy David.
Born to procreate. Born to procreate. Yeah, that better make it in the intro.
Nah, probably not.
Hey, beautiful people. Welcome to episode 81 of the Unboxing Life podcast. We are here to discuss the one and only Tyler, the Creator, and his 7th album, Call Me If You Get Lost, which just came out 2 weeks ago. And I'm super excited. And I'm also joined by none other than 3 other, I would hope to be Tyler, the Creator fans after you listen to this album. So I'm gonna start with my boy because we're twinning. We're twinning right now. Let's give it to the cam. Let's give it to the cam. Come on, show your shit. Yes, sir. Yeah. Yes, sir.
To the camera, not to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, both, I guess.
Yeah.
We're joined by I Thought You Wanted to Cast.
What's good, everybody? I'm also excited. We are in here.
The monotone voice tells you that he is very excited.
Oh, man. Freaking monotone. My sister said it, now I'm going to be freaking conscious of it every time.
It's fine. It's fine. We love you. I'm also joined by Sir Amo.
That is me. I'm just chilling here. I'm very surly, night-like, I guess.
Okay. I'm also joined by CB the podcaster.
Hey guys, I have a podcast if you want to listen to it. Yeah, you're listening to it right now. Holy shit!
Oh shit!
That's crazy. Yeah, David, I got the same thing about the monotone voice said to me by the friend of mine that wrote the review that we read a couple episodes ago, I guess technically.
Yeah, my sister was responding to that. Like, David's got the most monotone. Yeah.
If you want us to review or read your review of our show, please give us a review on Apple Podcasts or any forum that you see fit, whether it be Reddit or YouTube, whatever the fuck you want. We'll read it out for you.
Tell us who you think is the most monotone.
Or is there some type of bias with being more critical with a person you're more familiar with? That may, who knows?
Ooh, dang.
I mean, I don't see it as critical. I like my voice. I like the voice for radio. It's
yeah.
You know, it's good stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we're also joined by Takara, the streamer, and we make up the Unboxing Light podcast. So
hey, yes sir.
With that, let's jump into some traditions. So
let's do it.
I usually go with the joke. Let's get with the joke. I like the joke first.
All right. The joke is it comes from Reddit. It comes from Reddit user Mr. Badass Motherfucker.
Okay. Wait.
Yep, and I'm Sir Amo, so it has to be a joke about being a knight. So, but I entered the knighthood lottery and actually won. It was a real surprise.
Oh my god, man!
Jesus,
so simple.
Surprise. And it was a prize since I won the lottery.
Right, a surprise. There you go.
All right.
Nice and straightforward.
We're gonna move on. So, with that out of the way, let's get the track of the episode.
Okay. My
baby.
Track of the episode is a bit of history linked to this album in a very interesting way, I think.
Okay.
It is 2 Cups of Blood by Gravediggers, who, if you're unfamiliar, are early 90s or maybe even late 80s horrorcore hip-hop group. The reason I picked this track is because Tyler literally just used the beat from this song for Lumberjack. That is the same beat. He just, I guess, sampled it, if that's the right word. I mean, obviously he got permission and everything. Interesting thing about this beat is it was produced by the one and only, going by the Resurrector at the time, who was the RZA from Wu-Tang Clan. Yeah, so back in Gravediggers days, he was the Resurrector, which was really interesting. They all have like horror movie, like themed names, which was funny to find out. So
that's cool, yeah.
Yeah,
That's dope as fuck.
it's an interesting connection because he used that and then he used the West Side Gun beat on the first track. So he's like, it's like the mixtape thing, just going over a couple people's beats. So I thought that was interesting.
Dope.
Yeah.
I think it's
There you
also worth noting that he is credited as every track on here. He is credited as being a producer, which is beyond impressive for me, especially considering how wonderful these beats are. And we'll get to that, but
Quite the producer, yeah.
David bringing us the track of the week only after he was in his basement with the whiteboard connecting all the red lines, like figuring out all the connections.
Dang, I just found out about it through some video. It was dope.
That was great. That was great.
all right, dope.
Yeah.
You or me, baby.
Let's get the fact, baby.
All right. That's me. This is something that people might know, any Tyler fans out there already, but something that I was not aware of. And as you introed it, whether or not I'm a Tyler fan now, we will see. But this is my introduction to Tyler, so I was not aware of this fact that Tyler, the Creator. Well, let me read it up proper. The first line of the first verse of Lemonhead goes, "I don't lean, but my house do."
Indeed, it does.
Tyler, the Creator, is in fact completely straight edge, meaning he uses no drugs or alcohol ever recreationally. When asked about his use of drugs and alcohol, Tyler has been quoted as saying, "I've been high before. Last time was like 09, New Year's Eve. Ate a weed brownie. Worst time in my life. Not for tea. This mind shouldn't have anything in it. I was fucked up, crying, wanted to die."
Dang.
So, not for everyone, you know. But I thought that was very interesting in the his interview. He said like, you know, this mind shouldn't have anything in it. Of like, he's such a, you know, creative phenom, as it were, that like substances just aren't for him. And I know like a lot of other artists will like maybe only almost exclusively write shit when they're fucked up. So it's very interesting. Very cool.
Yeah,
it's definitely a huge juxtaposition from like the norm of, you know, you have to be high or, you know, be brokenhearted to write your own great record. But he's already so like off the walls as it is as a human being, so he doesn't really need it. Yeah,
and in addition to the whole glorification of, you know, that lifestyle in you know, the rap industry and all that. So yeah, it's great. It's cool.
Cool. Yeah.
Were you gonna say something, David? Or?
No, it was everything was said that I wanted to say for sure.
Great. All right, Trev, take us in.
Well, I guess I am the last one. So, if you listen to this album, he has a couple different alter egos that he goes by, and one of them being Tyler Baudelaire, and that is in reference to the French poet Charles Baudelaire, who is, I guess, a really world-renowned poet. I had no idea who he was before this album. And so I found a really cool quote by him, and it goes, "We are weighed down every moment by the conception and the sensation of time, and there are but two means of escaping and forgetting this nightmare: pleasure and work. Pleasure consumes us, work strengthens us. Let us choose." So I thought that was a pretty cool quote, honestly. But
yeah, that's a great one. Nice one. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. And, I was immediately curious about the Baudelaire connection and what that was and who what that was in reference to. My immediate draw, talking about the red lines in the basement, was to the Baudelaire children of the Lemony Snicket novels and TV show.
Yeah.
And so Netflix made a special in which Neil Patrick Harris absolutely kills it. So do the kids. Great cinematography, all that good stuff. And they, you know, the children regularly get referred to as, the Baudelaires. And so it was just like in my head, like just unlock that.
Yeah.
And supposedly there's something that like it could be a reference to when he talks about his house leaning. There's like a leaning house in the books, but anywho. But the main draw, I'm very sure, is that poet. And I think part of the reason when I was looking for my fact was it talked about that his best-selling book, Charles Baudelaire, I believe was his first name, Charles, right? Was banned for a time for obscenity. And so Tyler, who, when I was looking for my fact, has apparently been banned from the United Kingdom for a time for the content of some of his albums and stuff like that. So it's a cool thing to, have that. I think the poet lived in like the mid 1800s or something like that, right? I'm not sure. But so, throughout time, censorship and obscenity and art and all those things collide over and over again. So it's a cool little reference that he pulled up, and
God forbid people talk in the way they choose.
Right.
Cursing. Jesus fuck.
For sure. Well,
we're gonna be cursing quite a lot in this episode, I would assume.
Yes.
So.
Yep. And if we're banned anywhere, frick you.
Fuck censorship, by the way.
There you go. Well, speaking of that, let's get into the series of fortunate events, which is this album.
This whole album, brother.
Nice.
I like that.
High five.
I want to hear from Alex and Cameron mostly. Like, give me some of your overall thoughts on this album, because it's quite a beast.
The new Tyler listeners, for everyone out there, Trevor and I have obviously listened before, and these guys are pretty fresh to the man. So yeah.
Alex, do you want to?
What a hell of an album to jump into, by the way.
Yeah, I definitely think it's cool. I mean, obviously, I'm not feeling too well. If you can't tell by my voice, I haven't been feeling well for the past few days, and so I've listened to this album, not feeling the best, and it's cool. I think being sick kind of puts a damper on the listening experience. So I definitely got plans to go back and listen to it more when I'm better. But I do have an idea of the tracks and an idea of the features, and I was pleasantly surprised with some of the voices I was hearing. I do feel weird about this album in the sense that I can't put my finger on what I don't like and what I do like and what I don't like. It has a very distinct sound, and I think that's just his style. But I do like a lot of aspects of it, and I'm sure we'll get into more, and I can better talk about it as we talk about tracks and stuff.
I did want to stress the fact that he is credited on every one of these tracks for being a producer. And I had no idea he was like this, like knee deep in producing, until the Snow Allegra album came out like a couple of days ago, and he was featured on a couple tracks, and he produced those tracks that he was on. And then I was talking to David yesterday. I was like, holy shit. He produced every fucking one of these tracks. Like, it's insane.
Well, didn't he produce his other albums?
Yeah, I think so.
I guess so.
Yeah, I feel like I
never looked into it.
No, yeah, he's like, he plays piano. He like does a lot of crazy musical stuff. Yeah,
he's fucking dope, man. This like just this album, like it's so lush with different like soundscapes, and there's not a single beat on here that sounds alike, and but it has this sort of avenue where you almost know exactly what he's trying to achieve with his sound. It's like, and there's different pockets on the different parts of the album, because there's like 15, 16 tracks on here, and you can kind of divide it up into like 3 parts, I want to say. And it's just, man, it just fires on all cylinders for me. I'm not gonna lie, but
yeah, it was definitely interesting. There's some tracks that are like grit and grime and like chaos, and then there are ones that's just like lovely flute the entire time. So it was, longtime fans of the podcast, but especially the podcast boys, will know that Cameron, I don't want to use the word often, but history will show that might be correct. Cameron often has dog shit first takes. So so that
Eminem show.
Trevor's cackle, I don't think came through the mic there, but yeah. Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
So I actively asked for another day with this album because I didn't think I had listened to it enough to give it its fair shake, and especially because Tyler, compared to what I'm used to, has a very distinct style, and I could feel myself getting used to it and getting into it, and I wanted like another couple 2-3 listens to like actually like fully form my opinion, so I could like I guess knock the dust off isn't the right thing because it's not like I had it before and need to pick it up again. But it's like, you know, just to ease myself in, just to like get used to the temperature of the water, as it were, and then like begin to be able to enjoy it. And that's basically what happened. I think the extra listens I got and the extra day were super beneficial to my listening experience. I enjoyed it. So we'll get further into it as it goes, but I'm glad I got the time I did with it, and I will continue listening to it in the days to come.
The funny thing is that like I didn't require more time because I started listening to it when it first came out, and we gave ourselves like 2 weeks to do it. But like the first couple listens were kind of rough for me. I didn't feel as attached to it as I do now. It was kind of really messy. My first listen was like, wow, there's so much going on. How am I going to digest this for the podcast? Like, this is ridiculous. Like, there's literally so much going on this album. It's nuts. Yeah. And as I kept listening to it, I'm like, wow, okay, I see where he's going. I see this is like Financial Freedom, the album. Like, he is, like, he sums it up basically in the entirety of that skit called Blessed, where he's like, you know, I'm writing TV shows, I'm scoring movies, you know, shit like that. That's the entire fucking album. That's the whole album. The whole album is basically him flexing on y'all, but in a weirdly humble way, because you can see where he comes from with his entire career. And it's like almost like this is the pinnacle of it. And he just feels like he has achieved what he wants.
It's definitely like, to me, it's like the guy that you want to see win has won, basically. So like,
right.
That's what's good about it. And he has like, he brings in the other sort of theme, which is his like unrequited love, or like, you know, lost love and stuff, which he talks about on a few of the tracks. So it definitely gives it that balance for me too. Because man, this is definitely one of my favorite albums of the year so far. Enjoying it a lot. Like you said, it was crazy on first listen. I'm glad that everyone here, you know, gave it the time to get into it some more. I thought that would definitely be, I could see that. I mean, it threw me off. I could see that throwing off every single one of us with just like the 2-minute tracks, then a freaking 10-minute track, and then like a 1 minute. It's like, all right, that's
the thing. Like, I hated it at the first listen. I hated it, honestly. I was like, I couldn't grasp the song concept when I first heard it, and it like frustrated me because it's just so short. Like the first track is like 1.5 minutes, and then like the first 5 tracks are no longer than like 2.5 minutes. Yeah. And it was completely frustrating on first listen. Like, this is really what you gave us like 2 years later, like after Igor? But you keep listening to it and it's got so much substance. Like Corso, the second track has 3 verses on it. And I was telling David, like, I can't believe he fit 3 verses on this fucking track. It's 2 minutes and 20 seconds.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, granted, they're only like 12 bars a piece, but it's like he just fits so much that you don't need it to be this mainstream pop structure of it has to be 3 minutes, like 3.5 minutes, you know?
And to your point on like the substance and like just picking up on what he's doing with the quick tracks is like on Corso, I didn't even realize that like most of that last verse, he's like actually getting into his troubles like as of late. Like I thought it was just like a couple bars he threw out at the end about like buying no emotions, but it's more like he's giving you flexing and then transitions into like the other themes that are going to be on the album, which I thought was, I mean, again, he does it in like 2 minutes, which is crazy. So
I love that line. The remembered I'm rich, so bought me some new emotions and a new boat because I'd rather cry on the ocean.
Yeah,
that's like,
sure.
I mean, it's that whole the thing we've talked about several times that rappers will talk about. Rappers, what the fuck am I? Rappers will talk about. I like that. I don't know what's happening, but anyway, rappers will talk about, and everyone will talk about, you know, wealth is, you know, a blessing and a curse and all this stuff, and like money doesn't buy happiness. But then like he's not doing that. He's not being like, oh, like just because I'm rich I'm sad and like all this stuff. He's just like, you know, buy me a boat because I'd rather cry on the ocean. It's like I'm still gonna be sad, but I'd rather do it lavishly. It's a hilarious way to look at it, honestly, but a very real way of doing it, which is cool.
Right. Yeah, it's great because he approaches it in an honest way, and it's not like, oh man, I'm the same as you, man, even though I'm a freaking multi-millionaire, or like Yeah, or it's just, or like he pretends like he doesn't have any troubles. Like it's a healthy way of going about it for sure.
He's still very relatable, even though he's on cloud nine with
Yeah.
doing everything an artist would want to do in the 21st century.
Yeah, because
it's remarkable.
That Bless skit like rubbed me the wrong way a little bit at first. Even though I'm so used to rappers flexing and bragging, it's like you're just literally gonna tell me how good you're doing on this track. We just got out of a panoramic and you're doing this.
Panoramic.
Pandemic.
Yeah. I know. I know.
So what, did I miss the joke?
Yeah, I 0% thought David got that word wrong on accident.
Yeah, it was just a meme going around of people mispronouncing it or saying the wrong
anything
word
that starts with PA.
Sheesh. I always thought it was silly that people say global pandemic when pandemic means that it's a global catastrophe. But well,
I don't know.
Yeah. So, but yeah, then I sort of warmed up to it when I got further into it.
And also,
the funny thing about that track is I'm the total opposite. I liked it when I first heard it. Like, holy shit, he's giving us another like telescope view into his life. And then like the more I heard it, I'm like, I'm writing TV shows. I'm just going on movies. Shut the fuck up. Like, just get to the next track. Like that's how I felt about it at the end.
Yeah, that's fair.
But granted, I heard the album like 10 times. I couldn't stop listening to this shit. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I think it is the best album that came out this year. I'm just gonna throw that out there. I'm sorry.
God dang.
This will absolutely make my top 10.
Yeah.
I've held that in so long, but
you're really putting this over. Say it like you feel it.
Dang.
Man, I don't know, man. If y'all are new to this podcast, go to episode 77.
Check that out. Yeah, check that out.
Goodness. All right. Glad we got a good laugh out of that. I thought I might get kicked off of the podcast. All right.
No, that's fun.
It's outrageous.
It's outrageous. Yeah. And I was aware of, because most of my experience with Tyler the Creator is not his music. It's like the fucking clips of him on the internet and shit. And there's one where he's on the cooking show and he's like, "Oh my god, can you please fucking stop?" and like just yelling at the woman. And he's like, and the one where he's out the car window and he's like, "Your girlfriend look like my mom." And like all that, just him being a dickhead and just rolling around doing whatever the hell he wants. And so I was waiting for that to show through, and it does pretty immediately where it's like, it's on Corso. I literally laughed out loud when he just goes, "Tried to take somebody bitch because I'm a bad person." It's just like
which is a foreshadowing to the track called Wilshire.
Right? Yeah. So it's
wonderful, honestly.
It's got multi-leveled there, but the whole thing of like, I'm gonna take your girl, I'm gonna steal your girl, like all this stuff in the culture is like, he's not even saying like because I'm like a bigger baller than you, because I'm like so good, is like I'm a bad person.
Yeah,
that was mad funny to me.
Dude, I'm reading those lyrics now. I don't regret shit because that pussy worth it. In the end, she picked him. I hope when they fucking, she's still thinking of me because I'm that perfect.
Damn, it really is real shit.
I'm gonna get that deep. Okay, so this is another fetish I have with rap, like how they know. Okay, so just chill. That they know that this verse they know that this shit is gonna hit, right? So that they're like I'm gonna get that deep text when this verse surface. It's the same thing that Drake does when he's like, "Don't hit my line when this shit comes out."
Oh yeah.
He knows that the person that he's talking about in this verse is going to hear the track and he's going to hit his line.
Yeah.
I love that shit.
That's intense.
I love that cocky shit.
Yeah, that is cocky. Dang, that's good.
How did you guys feel about DJ Drama?
Oh yeah, that's a good aspect to talk about.
The hype man, basically, the entire time. I liked it. It was a fun aspect. It wasn't something that I don't think I have any experience with about the same, like, because obviously you have a featuring artist, then he like says some cool shit, and then you go into the track or whatever. But to have the same guy come back over and over and over again and dropping the same tags and what was it? This is for
Can I do it?
Can I do it? Yeah, go ahead.
Gangsta Grease Seal.
There you go, picked up. Yeah.
There was another couple ones that was like, "This is for the sun something."
This is for the what?
Sunseekers.
Sunseekers.
Yeah.
That one, which I meant to look up and didn't. I don't know if you guys know anything about that.
We just landed in Geneva.
Yeah,
I got our toes out.
Nah, like this
Young
young
lady
lady.
just fed me French vanilla ice
French
cream.
vanilla ice cream.
Shit was
yeah,
mad
yeah.
funny. I don't know.
Yeah.
I dug it. It was good.
Yeah.
I fucking hated it when I first listened to it, right? I
Oh,
hated
yeah.
it. I wanted to text the chat so much like, yo, can DJ Drama shut the fuck up? I hate it. I fucking hated it.
Yeah.
But then listening to it more and more, it just his personality rubbed off on me so hard.
Yeah, that's what I caught with it. Yeah.
But he's such a legend in this like community. Like he's been around for God knows how long. And just him like this whole album is like, I don't know if they bill it as an album or like a mixtape. The lines are so blurred nowadays where, you know, it doesn't really fucking matter anymore, but it has such a mixtape vibe to it where there's one DJ that creates the vibe and the sound, you know, around the album, and he just does it so well for me. Like after a couple listens, when I finally got used to it,
Yeah.
the first couple listens were rough. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, I think he definitely. It's like an album where he went for that mixtape feel for sure, which people are talking about, and I think that's interesting. And it's also hilarious how he's on literally every single track.
Yeah,
Like,
just about.
Is he on Wilshire? That's the only one I don't know. Like,
I don't think so.
I'm not sure. Yeah, like
I don't
he's
think
on.
so.
Yeah, okay. He's on like Sweet and all, and I'm just like, they gotta throw him in there. It reminded me of Damn a little, but it's not quite as extensive on that one.
What about Damn?
You know, like
You
the
talking about the Kung Fu Kenny guy?
Yeah, like yeah, all that stuff.
Okay. I can
Yeah,
see
but-
that. He's more
yeah.
present than the Kung Fu Kenny guy. But
No, he is for sure. Yeah, but I
he's just got a bunch of like really throwaway ad libs that they just kind of like they were just vibing in the studio. It's almost like Tyler like created the album and then DJ Drama was just like vibing, you know, like 7 shots off of Patron, just like we just landed in Geneva, we got our toes out, like you know, like just vibing, you know. I don't know.
he's just hanging out with him, and at random points he'll just record him, just
Right.
like, what's going on, everybody? Yeah,
Right.
just on a boat. Yeah, that'd be.
And there was a point I forgot which, it might be Corso, where he's like, "Yo, DJ, like a Drama, I need you," but he wasn't specifically referring to DJ Drama, but the bar worked, and
Gotcha,
Drama like
yeah.
comes in with an app, and he's like, "Hey, yo, I'm here," you know, like
Dang,
shit like that.
That's a good bar. Dang.
It's really good synergy.
Yeah,
I think it serves the album really well.
yeah, I agree. Yeah. So
Do we want to get into some?
yeah, let's get a little deeper in.
Yeah, we didn't want to do track by track, but do we want to do like top 3, top 5? You know,
Top
how
couple.
you feeling about
Top couple. What do you want to bring up, Trev?
I want to bring up the fact that the catchiest bar on here is "I don't leave my house, dude."
Yeah.
Oh my
That'd be-
god,
I thought that'd be your quote of the episode for sure.
yo, I was going to, right, but I
Yeah.
wanted to be a little deeper.
What is that
No,
off of?
That fucking lean on the house shit is nuts.
Yeah.
Nah, I'll tell you the best part for me. He goes, "You look malnourished." That's probably one of my favorite tracks. What's your name?
What's your
Oh,
name?
yeah.
What's your
That's a
name?
good one.
It's got a
What's your
nice
name is
vibe
dope.
to it.
Yeah, that one grew on me for sure.
Yeah, but Jilly catches you with that first line. I mean, you look
Yeah.
malnourished. Like, what? He's talking about.
That's what I'm saying, man. He just went in the studio and just started vibing, man. I swear.
Definitely, he catches your attention. I mean, the first line of the whole album is like the sun beaming. It just puts you right in the freaking vibe immediately for me. Which he dropped it at the perfect time, like the middle of summer. Just like,
Yep.
we lit. Yeah, I hope
Very
Alex
true.
can get the opportunity to just go outside and be feeling better and just listen to it in that context.
Yeah. Go for a walk. You'll feel like a king with this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hope you. Yeah, but yeah, Lemonhead's one of my favorites. Just it's immediately a banger. You know. What can you
Incredibly
say?
a banger.
I
The
agree.
only, and I told you this yesterday, the only part that sucks about this song is the pandemic line.
Oh,
I
you want to see a pandemic?
fucking hate that part so much. It's so cringe. It should not be on this track.
Yeah, it's
Oh, you want to see a pandemic? It's insensitive. It's tasteless. It doesn't need to be on here.
yeah. There's no
Yeah.
reason for it.
That's true. Yeah.
What does he mean by that?
I
What are you
honestly don't.
talking
I thought he was
about?
gonna tie it in somehow. Like,
What are you talking? Get the fuck out of here.
like, no. In fact, I would not like to
I
see
don't
a
really.
pandemic.
I don't think it's that big of a deal. I don't mind it.
We got
painful.
these
I
infectious
I hear it in a lot of
lyrics, bro.
tracks, but
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, like Alex, I kind of just my mind skips over it, but it is kind of weird. But yeah.
It's mad weird for me,
Yeah.
but other than that, the song is immaculate, and I'm glad that it happens at the beginning of the track, so I could just listen to the rest and just be a little happy. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
Forget about it.
good God, this track is fucking amazing, and that like 42 Doug was like, I don't know him, I'm not a fan of him, but Jesus, he rides this shit like a motherfucker.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
There's
Yeah.
a couple points where he like lets the beat ride and lets it breathe a little too hard for my liking, but then he comes back and he just like kicks it into gear. And there's a couple points where the beat switches up like really nicely. And
Oh yeah. I mean, he's great with that. He'll just the production flourishes that he'll do on here, just the changing beats, just nutty. Yeah.
what did you guys listen to this on? Did you guys listen to this in headphones, or did you guys give it a whip ride?
Mostly car, maybe like half of one time in my headphones, but yeah, pretty much car.
Okay, so you experienced the stupid bass drops on some of these tracks.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Lemonhead kicks in. I was just freaking out. Like,
Yeah. Lemonhead and Juggernaut, I want to say, are the two that you need to be in the car to listen to.
yeah, it's
Oh,
pretty
bro, I
great.
was gonna say Juggernaut's another one of my favorite surprises.
Okay.
Let's go.
I don't know. It's just something about I got too hyped to hear Uzi.
Yeah.
True.
I don't know why I was so hyped. I'm like, oh, is that Uzi? And then I was with my brother because he loves Uzi. I'm like, he's like, yep. But I'm
Did
like,
you liked him on here?
Uzi. I do like him on here. Yeah.
I liked him. I liked him
He
on there
is
as well.
dope on here, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like,
Double C on my G. Double C on my feet. Like,
I was just hyped to hear him like a familiar voice that I've definitely heard before, and I'm like, yo, I can't believe I recognize him so quick, and that stands out for me because of that. But it is a hard beat as
oh
well.
my god, yeah, and I think Pharrell might have had a hand in that.
I think he did actually.
Oh dang.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Pharrell did. Yeah, because he's on here and he fucking
Yeah.
slays his verse.
Yeah, I was gonna say, thank God.
He's
Uzi was
almost
freaking
50.
yeah. Uzi was so great with the freaking switch up, and then Pharrell just murders the frick. He just like, God
It's crazy.
dang, like
Pharrell
Tyler
I
doesn't
have
didn't
a
even say anything.
Ferrari, but it's only for catching dust. Like there's a lot of really flexalicious tracks or bars on here.
Yeah, they all have so much personality and charisma. They're just flowing like crazy. It's so good.
The "She Keep Eating My Meat" bar from Uzi just made me laugh every time I heard it though. She keep eating my meat.
Yeah.
Jesus.
It's crazy, dude, because the album has like such a good sense of humor and like all this braggadocio and fat fucking beats and like is really sentimental at times, which is
Yep.
what I think you were referencing in general about saying it has so much going on, Trev.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree with everything you guys said there.
Which is weird because this track feels like it, like when I was talking about the different segments. So like tracks like 1 through I want to say 6, it's all like a super mixtape feel. It's got a lot of braggadocio, and
yeah,
then
definitely.
you know like Massa through maybe Rise. It's like more reflective. It's more romantic. But there's also some like with Manifesto, like with the Black Lives Matter movement. There's a lot of current events tackling, and then the last bit's like this is what I'm currently going through. Juggernaut feels like it belongs towards the beginning of the album, but I'm glad that it happens at the end because it always catches me off guard, and I like it.
Yeah, it is like a little treat. Like it's
yeah,
interesting
I'm good
because
with
it's almost to me it wasn't a three-way divide. It was like he just kept like definitely at the beginning it's like it's like all straightforward and then it changes of course, but it's just like he kept going back and forth but in a way that was smooth for me. So I was like, and that kind of made my head spin at first, but then it worked eventually. He just like he'll just throw different stuff at you you're not expecting.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm glad that I gave it as many listens as I do because it took me a while to recognize Hot Wind Blows, but when I did, I was like, wow, this might be one of my favorite tracks on here.
Dang.
And I never recognized it because Lumberjack is like that was the lead single on here, and then it goes to Hot Wind Blows, and I'm like it's such a quick track. Like it's got like this 40-second verse from Tyler, and then it goes into Lil Wayne, and then it's over. But God, this song is just so great, man. I don't know what I don't know what it is.
Hot
man.
Wind Blows.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. That's what I was talking about with the, you compare the gritty, like down in the dirt, like bass slamming you in the chest beats to this lovely flute that's just like chilling on the beat the entire time.
Literally a RZA beat into like a flute thing. Yeah.
Yep. That flute is nutty, Professor.
You were saying in the very beginning, they just take you out and they set the scene of like it's like a flex, but it's also, like put yourself in my shoes. We in Geneva, we on the lake, we on the yacht. Like got this French vanilla ice cream. We live in life, and then it's just like this very peaceful music in the background. I think Wayne. I like Wayne's verse on here for sure.
Wayne eats this hoe.
Yeah.
Wayne eats this hoe. Let's be clear. Let's be super beyond clear.
He was another one I was surprised to hear, and I'm like, when I heard him, I'm like, let's go. He does kill it. He does kill it.
So did you listen to it without looking at the track list? Like, you didn't know? Okay, so you didn't know who was on it?
No.
Okay,
that's cool. Yeah,
that's cool.
That's always a nice surprise.
Yeah,
I did the same exact
thing.
Wayne? yeah.
And we got like the nice modern Wayne. We didn't get like the syrup fried directionless Wayne. We got the conscious Wayne. You know,
he's definitely out of that now. He's on the other side.
He's back on his feet, like he says in the verse.
There you go. Yeah, no, it was great.
I text the chat from one of the bars. I love when she let me rub her like Michelin.
Yeah.
I love the fucking bar so much.
Yeah, I know he's really funny.
He is hilarious.
I mean, yeah, there's a line earlier on like Corso or Lemonhead where he's like, "You want Smokey the cool aunt," which is that's good. He has a lot of stuff that I don't even pick up on. That's just little jokes. Which there
are tiny little random ones where like I heard them say, it's like we were dishes because we're in sync. I forget. I think that's on.
Yeah, there's a couple dirty dishes lines on here. Yeah. Kind of got on my nerves.
It's just little like it's like 6-word bars that just make sense. I don't know. They're just like threaded throughout that you catch only if you're like paying attention.
Right.
But that's fun. It's fun.
Did you guys feel like it was like a 50-minute album, or did you feel like it went a little quicker than it? Because like for me, it goes so quick.
Yeah,
and I just enjoy like basically every minute of it.
I mean, it
didn't lag.
I'll say it felt like 50 minutes, but it made sense that it did because it's exactly what you were talking about, where you just fly through like the first, if you talk about in terms of track as opposed to, duration, you fly through like the first half and then, you slow down and then Sweet Celeste, I Thought You Wanted to Dance is like 8.5 or 9 minutes or however long it is. And so is Wilshire.
Just about.
But then like Mama Talk and Bless, they're both like minute-long interludes. So you like fly from Sweet to Wilshire basically. With Rise and Juggernaut in between. So it's like the pacing was like a roller coaster basically, in terms of, speed up, slow down. But I got no problems with it. And that's not to say I have any gripes, it definitely felt like it was lasting me the 50 minutes.
Yeah, to me it was like the perfect feel, because it's just like it goes by quick, but it's like it's so long, so there's so many tracks, and it's just like I kept remembering, like I said, like, oh, freaking Juggernaut's coming up. Like it's just like I keep getting more good stuff that I forgot about. It's just like the best type of thing for me.
It's dope, yeah.
When I'm looking at this track list, the only weak track on here for me, and I don't know if y'all feel this, but it's Run It Up.
Run It Up.
I think Run It Up is the worst track on here.
I agree.
And I think I never skipped it because I don't hate it, but it doesn't do anything for me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if y'all feel the same, but that feature on there is like, I'm running like a politician. I'm running like water under 30 dishes. Like,
yeah, I mean, comparatively, it doesn't do much. I don't think. Yeah, it's
I'm running like a transmission.
I think it's the low point.
He definitely delivers differently from what I'm used to, but that track in general, it takes like a minute to catch up. Like it takes a minute to start up, right? And then it never really truly delivers for me.
Mhm. Yeah, it's just not very remarkable, I guess, especially with this album. It's like, all right,
Yeah.
you know, whatever.
That I guess if we're talking low points, the second half of Sweet is not for me as well.
Frick, dude.
I thought you wanted to dance is not my. It's not my
man.
style.
I prefer the back half to the first half. Trevor's screaming. Trevor is screaming, and it did not come through.
I don't like.
David, did you have something to say in that? You are named after it.
That is true. Yeah, no, Trevor is in the wrong here. Because
Nice.
I mean, if we're getting into the freaking 10-minute this is one of my favorite tracks. I love both halves, probably equally. The first half has that fat freaking synth bass, nutty freaking. I'm nutting in the car as I'm driving. It's hard to keep.
I'm drinking my own nut as well.
It's hard to keep hold of the steering wheel, but we're making it work. And then the second half just goes right into it. Oh man, come on! It's so like every second of it is so well freaking produced and just. Oh, and I love
Sweet. I wish it was a different track. Honestly, I wish it was separated.
Man, yeah.
Yeah, I don't really care for the super long tracks. I don't.
Dang.
I don't.
You don't like Wilshire?
Nah, it's just the same thing for 8 minutes. It's like, I don't know. I don't care for it when it's that long.
I mean, Sweet is definitely different because it switches up, but I can totally see like what you mean by Wilshire, like how it's the same beat the whole time.
Yeah.
It's more so if you're not in love with the production, which I mean I like the beat on Wilshire a lot, but
but
Wilshire is definitely one thing because it's the same song, like he's just telling the same story. With Sweet and I Thought You Wanted to Dance is like yes, they're one song, they're very thematically related. So with that thematic relations, it makes sense that if they were split down the middle and you did make them two songs and sequence them one after the other, I wouldn't skip either of them, so it might as well just be one 8-minute track, I guess, is how I look at it. Because I don't think I would listen to either by themselves. I would only listen to them in the context of the album.
Oh, I totally did. I would totally listen to Sweet by itself.
All right, well, I guess that makes sense from your perspective then. For me, it just doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which is fun.
No,
and he's done this before where he's like, this is like, he's kind of known for these like slash tracks, and like the fan base kind of likes how he does that.
I think every single album, the 10th track is a slash track, which is a weird little thing.
Really?
He did that on Flower Boy?
Yeah, the 911 Mr. Lonely. Yeah. Yep. Once you see it, it's every single one has a different one. Yeah,
dang, interesting. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's interesting how he's.
It'll take me back to November though. It's just
okay. No. Yeah, no. Anyway, love that song. Freaking love Massa. Probably another one of my.
Oh my god, that beat on Massa when it builds, bro. I don't know what he's playing on this track, but god damn it, do it on other tracks. Do it on more tracks. Whatever the fuck you did on this track, do it on more tracks. It just makes me feel like the world is so happy.
Oh, that light background beat that you were talking about.
Oh my god, bro! When it just because it's so
like a whistle, it's like a whistle, but it's like I don't know how to describe it.
It's so minimalistic. Like the first like 40 seconds, and then it builds up to this like just wonderful little melody in the background.
It's like a chime, right?
Oh my god!
It sounds like a melody that would play if you're playing like an open world game and they're showing you the gorgeous landscape for the first time or something like that. Yeah. It's like,
oh my god!
I was instantly in love with it just as much as Trevor was. I'm not going to moan quite as much as he is, but
my leg's long as a bitch.
Yeah, for sure.
There it is. So
you got that bass line the whole time.
Oh my god!
Yeah, because I mean the whole track builds up, and it's just I didn't see it coming, but it's so chill at first, and he just gets angrier and angrier, just like fed up with like critics and everyone. Just
for sure, that last verse is fucking dope. Trev was rapping along as we played it before we started the pod.
Those last like 4 bars.
I do all this shit. I put all this work in. If you want to read them perfect, so I don't have to paraphrase. If you have them up,
you can't relate to these things. I say these instrumentals, whether it's wealth talk or shit that's painful. I paint full pictures of my perspective on these drum breaks just for you to tell me it's not good from your lunch break. Oh my fucking god, bro! Get off Twitter, pussy. This fucking album is great.
Get off Twitter.
Twitter fingers.
Check your
Jesus.
resources.
Yeah, no, it's great. It really is.
For sure, yeah. I love hitting back at the haters in any way, shape, or form. It's great.
But not just hitting against a hate, like in a tasteful and creative way.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Where it's not a cringy Eminem bar, like, oh, the haters are mad, but I'm, wiping my ass with 6 mil, like shit like that. I hate that shit, but this is creative. Like that shit that's painful, that just blew my mind when I first heard it. I was like,
well, yeah.
Wow. He literally just flipped painful
Right.
twice.
Yeah, and he's like, it's like he's rapping beautifully the whole time, and he's more introspective. He's talking about like, paraphrasing like the, people don't believe he came from nothing because he doesn't look like the stereotypical product of his environment. He's like, they'll pick the flower and not use the petals or something like that. Like, it's just like setting up why he would be so frustrated with people just not even giving him a chance and critiquing him and just being, very shallow about it. And just, yeah, it's great. There's so many of his thoughts on there that you just, I can't help but love it. Yeah,
definitely.
Speaking of introspective bars, this I think the track that follows, or like a couple tracks after, Manifesto.
Hey, brother.
Anyone?
Manifesto, anyone?
Yo, this fucking, so it goes like for about 50 seconds, right? And it's this like this sample driven like minimalistic beat, and then it just kind of flips its head into this stupid hard like 94 beat.
Yeah, that was sick. I was wondering if it was a fucking new track when I first heard it. I was like, is this a different track entirely? Because we kept getting like, because I mean, it's not right after that, but we kept getting like quick shit that were like completely different tracks. And I listened the first few times I listened to it, I was like, or first couple, I guess, I was like Alex, where I just wasn't looking at the track list, so I was just going by. In terms of separation of tracks, I was just going by beat, and so I was like, is this something different entirely?
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, that shit was crazy.
Yeah, it kicks in like a freaking motherfricker, dude.
It's like Duckworth, like Kendrick Lamar, damn worthy for me. I was telling David that like yesterday. That's my take from this song in particular.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh.
And this second verse from him is just nuts. If there's one thing that you take from this album, just listen to this last verse on here. Like, he goes from the very beginning of talking about how a white woman would like him to talk about Black Lives Matter, and then he does it in his own way of, if I say anything, I feel like I'm fucking shit up. So just live your life how you want to. I love all you black babies, like shit like that.
Yeah.
Oh my god, these fucking bars, bro.
Yeah.
I fucking love this verse so much.
Yeah, he did go hard. Yeah.
Yeah, it's great because he's responding to people, which is definitely a thing, especially online. It's like, hey, bro, like it's just like you talk to people of a marginalized group or community and like, dealing with awful stuff on a large scale, and it's like you add on to it by going, hey, you got to talk about this, you got to talk about it in this certain way, and I'm this freaking white kid on the internet, I'm gonna get mad at you if you don't in this particular way I want you to. It's like,
yeah.
And so responding to that specific thing, and then like you said, going on to make it his own thing, which is, Tyler has not been the prototypical like Black Thought, Kendrick Lamar. Not that they're like the exact same either. Like they're all their own artists, but like he's not like the conscious rapper. So to see him like, so he's coming from a real perspective of like, I make music about different stuff, but obviously this stuff affects me too. So I will talk about it, but it's going to be in my own way. And like, he truly embodies the idea of him, saying like it's about freedom. And he said on previous albums before this, like, I'm just trying to tell these black kids you can be whoever you want. Like, he's not, you don't have to conform to anything that people tell you to.
So I just tell these black babies they should do what they want. Freedom. That's it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's pretty amazing. Yeah, definitely one of my favorites. If not my, I don't know what my favorite is, but
this is my favorite on here.
Yeah. I get that.
I look forward to this verse every time. I feel like I can absorb another like bit of gold from this verse every time I hear it. It's just one of those.
That's the best.
It's like a timeless verse for me.
Mhm.
That's the
It's
best.
fucking awesome.
Yeah, that's really.
Like he talks about being canceled before cancel culture was a thing, you know, like
Yeah.
internet bringing up old lyrics like I hide the shit, what's your address? I could probably send you a copy, bitch. Like that bitch part right there, bro. I love when a nice, healthy bitch just hits right. You know what I mean?
For
like
sure. A nice, healthy bitch.
Well, he says he doesn't even like saying it, but it just sounds cool. Yeah.
Right. It just sounds cool. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
No,
that's funny.
he fucking kills this shit.
Yeah, truly, he really does.
Yeah. If we're a little bit in
any other tracks we want to
if we're a
talk
little
about?
bit in transition, I can't skip Mama Talk ever because I think it's dumb
I
funny.
can.
I think it's dumb funny when she's like talking about like, you know, I'll beat kids' asses. I don't give it. And she like looks at Tyler, you know, like obviously it's an audio, but looks at Tyler, is like, would I lie? And he's like, you got no reason to. And she's like, damn right.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that shit's so funny to me. I don't know why. It's like,
Yeah.
he's just there while she's popping off. It's so good to me.
But like after today, when I listen to this album, because I will be listening to this album like in repeat, I will skip that song. I will skip that.
Yeah, I guess, but it's, I don't know. I just wanted to have a way of saying it. It makes me laugh.
Sure.
It's really good.
For sure.
And I, you know, there's time to time where it'll come on that I'll just be like, I want to hear that again because it's so good. You know, she talks about going to bat for her kid and nothing matters but him, and that's really sweet and cool to hear. And she does it in a really funny way.
Yeah.
So-
Oh, Tyler's mom's crazy. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's pretty funny. Yeah.
it was mad good. Yeah.
Yeah.
You mind if I pee real quick?
Okay.
Yes, I do.
I'm gonna fly this.
Piss your pants right now.
What's your name, girlfriend? What's your name?
You look malnourished.
You look malnourished.
Jumping back into the album review after I took a piss.
Mm-hmm,
Attaboy.
Did you wash your
did you
hands
wash your
before you? Yeah. They.
Say it, David.
I did
say
not,
it. Say it,
actually.
David.
I did not actually. I wanted to get back as quick as possible.
You did
and
not?
I have a queen. I have a queen pussy. Yeah.
So
I have a
you
queen-
don't-
I have a clean pussy.
You don't have as much self-respect as Tyler
I
does.
I
and
do
therefore-
not.
and
You're
therefore
correct.
You did
yes.
not
I
wash
my
your
hands while I piss.
before you piss. Yeah.
Did you wash after? Is that what you?
No, I did not.
Okay.
I wanted to get back
All
as
right.
quick as possible.
Disgusting.
My bad. No, my bad. This is on.
All
This
right.
is on recording. Yes.
All right. Well, anyway,
Trevor did not wash his hands at 2 a.m. in the morning.
I'm shocked.
you the reason we in a
Mhm.
panorama, bro. All right.
That's true. Anyway.
So
Yeah. Yes. What do you want to
Here's the
say?
reason.
we did Mama Talk. I think we did basically everything else. We didn't talk about Rise. We have feelings about Rise.
Just
Rise
a
is cool.
really good track, I think.
I like Rise. I like the hook a lot.
Yeah.
I'm cool with
Definitely
it.
love.
I think it had a lot of the attitude of what Trevor was talking about earlier about this being the peak and everything, and it's like, that they said we weren't gonna be shit and we just kept on doing what we were doing, and now look at us, that kind of a thing.
It's it's a stereotypical like started from the bottom. Look at us now. They told us we weren't going to be shit kind of track.
And I do like the sequencing with it being between the two interludes of Mama Talk, which is like this is where I came from, and then Blessed is like this is where we are now.
Yeah.
So that was
Which is
that
funny,
was super
like
cool.
when you talk about sequencing with Blessed should be right before Wilshire, in my humble opinion. Just because he's literally telling you exactly how much he's achieved in his life when it comes to, writing, fucking acting, all this like financial freedom that he's preaching. And then Juggernaut comes in and it's like a complete 180. Like, I'm going to keep, flexing on you, but like it should be right before Wilshire because he has everything he wants except for the girl, except for the romantic interest. I feel like Bless should be right before Wilshire. That's my only gripe.
I could see that. I'm good with how it is, but I could see that too. Yeah.
It's a bit
And
of a
another-
contradiction because on Blessed he says like I done fell in love, like all this stuff, and so it talks like he's in a. Blessed talks about it like he's in a. But I obviously have no concept of Tyler the Creator's current relationship status, but he talks like he's currently in one or in some sort of form.
Well, it's confusing, right? Because he talks
Yeah.
about it. he talks about it in Corso, where he's like, he basically foreshadows exactly what he's going to talk about on Wilshire.
Mhm.
You know, how the chick basically chose the guy that he was quote unquote friends with. And then he talks about it in Bless, how, you know, I fell in love. And then track 15 is all about how he didn't get the girl.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be different time periods. I have no idea.
Yeah, but just like what we're given, the way the track
Yeah.
list, it's kind of weird.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing.
Yeah, it's confusing. I tried to see like maybe he's taking it as a positive that he fell in love in the first place and moving on with
Right.
it. But I don't know.
I will say one of my biggest, like one of the very few gripes that I have about this album, because I think it's really great,
Mhm.
is that Wilshire, if you're listening to it on headphones, I don't know how it is in the car. I don't think I ever got to listen to Wilshire in the car.
Oh.
The few times that I listened to it in headphones, it's mixed so that the kick is only present in your right ear,
Yeah.
and that is a problem for me, just because I have like a really, I'm really centered around the mixing being correct and
Yeah.
it showing in both your headphones. So like the kick, especially when it's like a boom bap sound, like that whole track is like basically like it's almost like it's really warm in the sense that it's like a really old like 70s sample with the, you know, the record, I don't know how you would call it, just like the background, you know, sound that you would hear from a record. But it's only, the kick is only present in your right ear. So it's like
Yeah.
I can,
for the right ear, and it's like it's so distracting for me.
I can see that.
I had forgotten about that because that was only the first time I heard it in headphones. But yeah, that's a bit of an issue. But
But
yeah,
that's
for
it.
sure.
Otherwise,
Yeah.
the track feels like it's 2 minutes. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's really great.
I had no idea it was 8 minutes. It goes so fast. It's
Mhm.
it
He's
might be my
a great
favorite track of the
storyteller.
album.
Oh,
Honestly.
wow. Okay.
This kind of,
Do you agree with his point of view?
I mean, that's what I love about it, is he delivers the complexity so well. Of like, there are these sides, like, I know I'm in the, he even says like, I know I'm in the wrong,
says it.
like all this stuff, but like, you know, people feel some type of way about things, and they you know, that kind of forces you to abandon that like kind of forged sense of morality that we've had and placed upon ourselves and each other for so long. And that, I think the track closes out with like him talking about, you know, like, everyone's really just a child, like, we're really just slaves to our emotions in a lot of ways and all this stuff, and you know, like, no one actually has it figured out. We're all going to behave according to like all that stuff. And so it was a really cool message.
I think I forgive him for what he does in this track, just on the simple fact that it's very clear that the male that he's talking to or talking about, him and the guy are not close at all.
Yeah.
The guy doesn't even hit back his text. Like, it's almost like it's an acquaintance that he just, you know, has to keep up a facade of a relationship in terms of friendship, and he just so happens to fall in love with the chick that he's dating, and that's fine. But if it was different and it was like a best friend and then he falls in love with the chick, I'm on the fence on that. I think that's super corny. I think that's really cheesy. Like,
I've
that's
thought
a
of
little
that,
fucked up.
where
But
it was like the whole, you see people on Reddit and stuff like that talking about like relationship horror stories and whatever, and not even just Reddit, like wherever, the whole like trope of like, my best friend fuck my girlfriend or whatever, like that would ruin my sense of trust for literally the rest of my life.
right,
Like,
exactly.
these
That's
two
what I'm
people,
saying.
that I
can forgive
care
him
about
for this track.
Yeah, these two people that I care about so massively went behind my back and broke my trust in the same exact way, and like did not fucking give a shit about me, even though I care so much about them. Like, that would break me for probably the entire rest of my life. That'd be years of therapy. So, if that were the case, then yeah, absolutely fuck that.
Well,
I would never be able to do that to
Yeah.
a person that I cared about like that much.
Yeah.
But in the scenario in which, you know, this is a guy that you barely know, but like you knew him before you knew her, technically, like, then it's a thing. But is it? Like, yeah. But it's, you know.
I mean, I like it. Yeah, that's definitely what you guys are saying is valuable, because definitely to me it's like it's corny no matter what. Like, he knows, like, obviously you said he knows he's in the wrong, and it's it's another relationship that these two people have that you're obviously messing with just by being there. But also, correct me if I'm wrong, but he doesn't act like they don't actually cheat. It's just like
No.
emotional cheating.
It's
Exactly.
still emotional
Yeah.
cheating.
Right. So it's definitely on that line. They don't do physical stuff, but they're,
It's
obviously
still just as bad.
I get that. Yeah. That makes sense. I mean, you're right. It's the thing. It's like it's a really like complicated situation where he did the wrong thing, but he's also in love, and it doesn't excuse it, but he's like, this is what happened. I didn't have bad intentions,
Right.
We didn't take another step forward, so we cut it off, and
Yeah.
that's
And
that's great about it.
It's definitely why I love the track so much, is because I mean, aside from the kick thing, which I didn't recognize because I hadn't noticed that, but
I'm just weird. That's
yeah,
like
I
the
don't
first thing
know
I
that
do.
you're weird. It's been a weird listening experience for me, but the beat just rolls in the background and loops over and over again, and it's super nice and peaceful, and warm, I think is a word that Trevor said, which I agree with for sure. And he just storytells,
Which is like-
it made me
Like,
enjoy.
but it's like a technical term, like, not to cut you off. It's like a technical term with like how that record scratching sound that I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like that's like what they call a warm sound.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I mean, it just makes sense, I guess then. But yeah, I on this track kind of fell in love with his delivery and his ability to just flow and be poetic and be meaningful, and it was incredible, like what David just said, his ability to deliver that complexity and to be able to have like a shoe, like, what's the phrase, if the shoe was on the other foot or whatever, put yourself in someone else's shoes, that's the correct one, where he's like in his and the other person's shoes at the same time, and he knows like exactly what he's doing, but he doesn't at the same time, and the complexity of all that and the emotion and the morality and everything comes through in the poetry really well. And so it doesn't feel like 8.5 minutes. It was
Let's be totally clear. If anyone is able to make an 8-minute track sound like a 3-minute track, he's done his job correctly.
That's incredible. Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you agree with his viewpoints in the song. The fact that he's able to make it feel like such a short track, and it's just like it skips by so quick. It's like I look at my phone, it's 7 minutes in. I'm like, holy shit, it's already over. Like he's basically just phasing out into the last track, which is also a great track in itself. But I don't know.
I'm glad you felt that way, because long tracks, I know sometimes with you it's like, they might be wasting your time if they're doing the same thing for a while or whatever, and it's such a contrast to every other track where it's like most of them are super short, but the one that's super long there's so many instrumental things and like transitions and switches, and this is just the same thing.
Yep.
But it really makes you pay attention, and it's just like, okay, now the stuff he's hinting at, he even goes into it some on Sweet, and I thought you wanted to dance. He's setting it up more and more, and then it's just boom, here's the entire thing as honest as I possibly can tell it.
Even as early as Corso, like that's why I love this album so much, is that he like foreshadows his own album. It's dope as fuck.
Yeah, it's like a running theme. Yeah, that's great. And yeah, like you said, Safari is great. Fun fact about this: it was co-produced or mostly produced by Jay Versace. Do you guys remember who that is?
I know the name. I'm not going to be able to tell you where I know him from.
Exactly. You know him from Vine. He's the kid who did like that Vine that's like the librarian one where it's like, like I can't freaking quote it, and now I'm mad because
you had it, David. You had it.
That was the whole thing.
Damn.
That was the whole point.
But it's like freaking, you know what I'm talking about. He like puts the objects on his head to play different characters. Like his mom, he has like a freaking towel on his head, and you're like,
oh wait, I think I might know who exactly you're talking about.
Yeah, look up. Yeah, look up right now, Jay Versace.
I think I know exactly who you're talking about.
Me too. I also think I know. Okay.
He's like a young kid while he was on Vine.
Yeah. Yes!
Right.
Yes! I fucking love this kid, dude.
I know. He's hilarious.
Damn.
He makes music now. He produces beat.
What?
I know.
That's sick.
That's cool as shit.
I know.
That's cool as shit.
You said it's Safari you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Damn. Wow.
That's cool as shit.
I'm pretty sure I know
Thank
who it
you,
is,
David.
but I might be wrong. But I know Trevor got it right, so that's all that matters.
David, thank you. That is cool as shit, bro.
Yeah, I could not believe it was the same Jay Versace when I found that out. So
He is also on the Pray for Paris album by West Side Gun, which is awesome.
oh right,
That is
dang.
cool as fuck.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, these multi-talented people. I guess they
What
all
a
know each
fun
other.
fucking fact.
That's great.
Yeah, pretty great. The track's great. Cool to end it on I mean, just super braggadocious. He just goes in at the end, just like this is the quintessential brag verse. Like,
Yep.
is this one? Does he end the whole thing with the 29? But I've been doing it since
Been focused
30.
since 30M,
30
which is
mil-
a
yeah.
super Jay-Z bar. I love that fucking shit.
That's a great.
Love
What
that
is it?
shit.
Focus since what?
30M. Like
Only
30
29,
million,
but I've been focused since 30M, which means he's been focused since he made 30 mil.
Nice.
which is insane, and it's
Which
so.
is
It's
just like
crazy
a
to
Jay-Z
think that he's
bar.
29 still. Like he's done so. Him and Odd Future were so young when they came into the game and blew up.
He references the age 19 a few times in this album, and it just blows my mind because his Goblin came out in 2011, and this is 10 years later.
Yeah.
And that's like his jumping off point. Like I think he had Bastard like 2 years prior to that, but I think Goblin is what everyone knows him from.
Yeah.
With like Yonkers and shit. Which I tried to listen to and I got like halfway through and I was like, this is not for me.
Yeah.
But
A lot different.
the bar on here, let me try and find it. Oh my god. Fuck, hold on. Give me 1 second. Y'all keep talking,
We are giving you
please.
a second to research whatever you're researching. But yeah.
Go on, genius. Yeah.
Is that what we got except for what Trevor's looking at? Is
Pretty much. I mean, just
final
cool.
thoughts territory now?
Yeah, it's a cool.
Wait. Okay, I found it.
Okay.
Pink loafers scuff quickly. Fiat cost $1.60. I'll keep it $1.50. Y'all can't really fuck with me. Fucking love that fucking little bit, bro. Oh my god.
You really got to get a mic with a higher pitch threshold if this podcast is going to continue.
For real.
It's killing me,
just
dude.
About to go Super Saiyan.
It needs to come through, bro. It needs to come through. It just the production quality alone will skyrocket the Unboxing Life podcast.
That's very
To the next
true.
level. We will rise. Haha.
Take this thing to the next level.
Oh yes, dude.
We about to be
Well,
blessed. Yeah.
We will rise.
We are
Exclamation
about to be
point.
talking to our mamas about our success. All right.
Big facts.
All right.
Well, my mama will have. My mama is very similar. She will not be. We'll have some fun with that. With our mama.
There you go.
All right.
Yeah. All right. Let's get the final thoughts, everybody. Who wants to go in?
I'm going last.
Are we doing
that's
are we
fine.
doing rating after final thoughts? Like
Just
do
your rating. Final thoughts.
Part
and
of
rating.
it. You can throw it out
Give
there
me your
whenever you
shit.
want. Yeah.
Thing, well, it's like I said. I've definitely heard a lot. I liked a lot about it.
Mm.
I want to give it room to grow with a rating because I definitely want to go back and listen to it more.
Give us how you're feeling though, like so that way you have like a way to measure yourself afterward.
That's what I'm saying. Some room to grow because I don't think it's blossomed there for me yet. With all that being said, though, I still will give it a 7.
Nice.
Which is pretty high.
Ooh, baby.
For me, so.
I'm actually really happy with that, just because I was concerned on how you would feel about this a little bit. Just because like you don't really vibe with like modern rap like that.
Yeah.
But this is different. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's different.
Yeah, he has his own sound. So yeah, no, I definitely appreciate whenever, especially you, Alex. A lot of times you're like, all right, I need room to grow, and that's that's something that definitely I take a while sometimes with some albums just to appreciate them at all. So
right.
Well, I'm glad you at least like it so far. Yeah. So,
right.
I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Dope. I don't know. Were you about to go, Cameron, or?
I can. Yeah.
Okay.
Give me a bitch.
It has definitely come to my attention that it might be Wilshire, not Wilshire, but who gives a frick?
Wilshire Farms.
Wilshire Farms.
I'm definitely calling it Wilshire. So I
Go
know.
meat.
Yeah,
All right.
I think
Yeah,
Wilshire
definitely
is
go
an
meat.
actual place in England. I don't know if Wilshire is something else, but
Yeah.
either way, you know what we're talking
Wilshire.
about. It doesn't really matter.
Wilshire.
Go meat.
There you go.
Goodness.
Sponsor us.
Oh, it's Hillshire, not Wilshire.
Oh
God.
yeah,
That's what it is.
They do
Well-
make good breads.
We just
I kept thinking
absolutely
of Go
botched
Meat.
that
Yeah.
sponsorship. I don't think.
Yeah, if you would like to sponsor the Unboxing Life podcast, this is where your ad can go. Fucking your brand up.
Insert ad here.
Prove that ads don't work.
No. Oh, man.
Jesus.
We'll
All
get
right.
plenty of people eating your meat. Our ad will work for sure.
Too
guys.
many
Keep eating my meat.
That's
You
that's
eat
what
my
you
meat.
get. That's what you get with the Unboxing
Yes.
Life podcast. I make one pronunciation maybe correction ? And Trevor's talking about meat instantly. Just as soon as it goes there.
Yeah. Yeah, well, there you go.
He's in
Must be on my
tears.
meat.
He's in freaking tears on the other end of the mic. So anywho, I was like Trevor, I guess, technically, in that I didn't hate it on my first listens. I just thought it needed room to grow. And it did, and I got used to it. And I basically said this already, but got used to it, started liking it even more. Started to fall in love with his delivery and what a lot of the fans, I think, existing fans like about his style. His delivery, his pacing, his voice. And so, yeah. Album grew on me. I'm hoping it grows on me even more because I will continue to listen to it. It's currently going to sit at an 8 for me, but I can
Dope.
definitely expect it to go higher.
Dang.
Because right now I'm not even full up on all the bars and everything, and I was still catching stuff on the listen I did earlier today. So, I expect it to go up. And if it doesn't, then
Even
it
if
doesn't.
you-
8 is still very good. So
Yeah, even if eight
Yeah.
is your final score, it's still that's
Yeah.
immaculate.
Yeah,
you know,
definitely.
That's
It's-
fucking wonderful.
it's a great project. It's something I'll be returning to with solid regularity. And putting
Dope.
the bangers in some playlists. So
There's a lot.
there's quite a few.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's great. I'm glad everyone liked it. I
That's
can
it for my
definitely
boy.
echo. That's what's up. I can definitely echo a lot of what you said. Just at first, obviously, like we're saying, confusing, crazy sequencing. But I'm glad he went for it, and he always just seems to do what he wants with his music. So it's great. Again, like you said, it still has room to grow for me, even though I'm loving it right now. It's definitely, I can't imagine it not being in my top 5 by the end of the year, though. And
Nice.
I'm still catching a lot of bars again, as you said. So, not much else to say. Beautiful freaking album. Right now I'm feeling an 8.5. So
Okay.
freaking stupendous.
You guys
Super
are
solid.
you guys are making me realize we're gonna end up doing another top albums of the year, and I need to start sequencing that now.
Yes.
Lest
No, that's gonna be a tradition for this podcast.
I'd certainly
So
hope
get
so.
ready.
I mean, we knew that going in, or when we recorded the
Yeah.
first version of it. So, just good reminder.
I'm already
honestly.
trying to grapple with
Yeah, me
this
too.
versus other albums. So
Yeah, I mean, we
Oh,
are
yeah.
we
It's
are
only
over
July.
we are over halfway through the fucking year, which
We
doesn't
are.
feel correct, but whatever.
Yeah,
and there's a lot
Yeah.
more bangers to come, brother.
Absolutely.
for sure.
All right,
That's
I guess I'm up. Well, I adore this album. I think this is the most fun I've had listening to a new album this year. Period. 2021 is super, absolutely, coming in clutch. Especially from last year, having a lack of blockbuster releases. This one just hits home for me. I'm really happy with it, man. The first listen was rough, but obviously that's just how it goes. Especially with me, I'm really volatile with my takes, so I take a lot of listens to get the album's point and everything. But I'm gonna give this shit a 9, man. I like this shit a lot. I think it's his best album so far. I actually like it more than Flower Boy,
That's
which
what I
is
was waiting for.
it's
That's nuts.
nuts for me to say that. I'm not gonna lie.
That is nuts. Dang.
This album deserves a Grammy.
Dang.
I think this is the best album of the year
Ooh-wee.
that's dropped so far.
God damn.
I'm not gonna lie. I've had so much fun listening to this album. It's got
Man.
so much replay value for me. It's
Yeah.
unfathomable. I just want to even if you never hear this podcast, Tyler, just congratulations on this. Like, congratulations on everything that you've accomplished for the last 10 years, and this being the pinnacle of your career. Like, it's wonderful. Just thank you for blessing us with this. That's all I wanted to say.
Brilliant.
That's awesome.
We love that.
Yeah. That is freaking great. We do not know what album we're covering next, but stay tuned for that, I guess. And we keep it real because we're saying stuff like that. So it's definitely been real.
Maybe we'll do the Millennium album. Who knows?
That'd be
Sure,
cool.
I'm down.
I'd like to do an EDM album that Trevor's in love with, because that would be a nice little splash of taste in there. So for sure,
Yeah.
that'd be cool.
That comes out next Friday, so
Okay. Yeah, I'm down.
That'll be
I would
hot.
like to have a flash of taste.
There you go. A little planning for you guys. So stay tuned for that, and thank you everybody for listening. Again, it's been real. I don't know, not much else to say. Listen to this, I guess, if you haven't. To you guys, maybe check out Flower Boy if you like this a lot, and some of his other ones. I love Flower Boy. I'm not sure which one I like more, but just love
tough.
what
It's
he
tough,
does.
man. It's tough.
I know I'm becoming such a huge fan, honestly. But
He is amazing.
yeah. But yeah, thanks everybody. It's been real. Shout out to Tyler.
Yep, if you made it to this point in the podcast, then you get a big shout out. Let us know your thoughts, if you loved it, if you hated it, the album or the podcast.
Dang.
Yeah, give us some recommendations on your music if you want us to maybe review an album or something that you really enjoy.
Mm.
Very true.
Yep, and with that being said, I do love you all.
Fantastic. If you want to catch us on socials, that's at Unboxing Life Pod on Instagram and Twitter, and r/Unboxing Life Podcast. I'm going to give a big solid shout out to the biggest Tyler the Creator fan in my life, who I will be sending this podcast to, and whether or not he listens to this, send me a text if you get this far. Kevin, love you, bud. So hope you enjoyed the album, and definitely the album, of course, and the episode. And let me know what you thought if you want to hit me up. So. But the rest of you can catch us on those socials I just mentioned. And in the meantime, be kind to everyone and stay safe.
I'm going to just say, Kevin, if you don't like this album, you a sussy boy.
Kevin's going to love this album. So
yeah, no, you a
yeah.
big sussy boy. You big sussy boy.
Chewbacca.
He was.
He's gonna have. He does not run in that circle. He's gonna have no concept of what that is.
Hey man, just know if you don't like
He
this,
doesn't watch anime?
No, 0%.
Oh, pussy. All right.
It's okay. We
Love you,
gotta.
Kevin.
One step at a time.
well, yeah, we will be calling you out as a
Kevin does
sussy
not
boy.
want him to get to this point in the video.
Very true.
Yeah. Turn it off a minute ago. All right.
Yeah, exactly.
Either way, I'm drunk as hell. I love this album.
Nice.
I'm so glad that we were just blessed with this album. Honestly, I'm so happy that I was able to experience this. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. Love you, Tyler. Thank you for blossoming into the flower boy that you are now.
Flower.
Peace out, baby.